adoption of this idea. And platform is just a tool. Technology is just a tool. Okay, the real thing is the adoption of the concept, the adoption of this as an option in front of the founders when they're taking call to reduce their employee strength. And that's where our focus is. See, you can use any platform. You can use Naukri, you can use place. So that was, I was unreachable. I managed to reach by 5 o'clock.
Oh, wonderful.
On time.
Talked.
So the entire
500 kilometers.
Sir, it is great for us. We have the entire team with us right now. We have Ankit sir, we have Dishi ma'am, we have Manish sir. We have the full team with us for this interview. We are surely lucky.
So you should have started with Dishi and Manish.
No, actually, sir, they just joined right now, and we were just so scared that if Ankit sir is not coming, what are we going to do with the audience?
Oh, Dishi and Manish, they are there.
Yeah, we just tried to fill in your shoes. Yeah, but you managed to be back in time. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. So I'll begin. Hello everyone, I'm Arya. I'm a coordinator at IISc KNIT Sultanpur. You know, there are very few people who are looking at this pandemic situation with an optimistic outlook and are coming up with brilliant ideas for a startup that not only helps them as an organization but also the community. Retain the Star is the brainchild of the people with similar mindset and determination. This startup is a ray of hope for the employees who are trying to make the ends meet in their business, as well as the employees who are subjected to salary cutoffs and layoffs. With this, let's welcome all the entire team of Retain the Star, Mr. Ankit Bansal sir, Mr. Manish Jain sir, Miss Dishi Jain ma'am. We heartily welcome you all on behalf of IISc KNIT Sultanpur. Sir, I'll hand over the mic to you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Arya. Hello, everyone, and a very good evening to Ankit sir, Manish sir, and Dishi ma'am. Hope you all are doing well in this time. Myself, Shashank Mishra, coordinator, IISc KNIT Sultanpur, and we are immensely glad to see such a huge change maker and brilliant entrepreneurs with us. And since the current pandemic situation is posing global economic crisis that is resulting in inevitable cost-cutting and massive layoffs in corporates and industries, and in this unprecedented time, Retain the Star appeared as a boon for all of us and introduced a workforce reassignment portal where companies can assign their talent on ad hoc basis to the other organizations for a specific duration. But is this a win-win-win situation? Let's ask from the CEO, Mr. Ankit Bansal himself. May we proceed, sir?
Hey, no CEO, nothing. We all are co-founders, and I would like to request Dishi to take the lead here.
Okay, sure.
To introduce the Retain the Star, because I cannot match her energy.
Oh God. Okay, so
Dishi, extempo. See, guys, you have to learn this. How to be always ready.
Yes, sir. Definitely. After this, we will definitely be learning how to get ready.
And how to throw a ball to someone else as soon as you have one in your hand.
Definitely.
Okay, so when it comes to Retain the Star, do you guys know about the story, how it came into picture, how did it evolve, and how did it happen? So I'll start with explaining the story first. So Ankit and I were apparently working on a project where I was assisting him in a few of the hirings for Parak Online, where this lockdown just started. So I was in a fix that, every other day I used to receive so many applications on my LinkedIn that, I'm looking for a job. I've been laid off because of pandemic and their salary cuts, and I'm not able to serve my family. I'm not able to feed my family. So I was in a fix. How can I help these people? Because, at that point of time, I was also in I was not able to find out clients for them. So that is when Ankit just threw up this idea on me and he discussed that I am looking to place these candidates to on a contractual basis, where and this idea came from a football game that he just picked up. And when I heard this concept where it was lending of employees, I was like, wow, I mean, this sounds really amazing to me. So at that point of time, I just thought that the very thing I was looking for was just right here in front of me, and he was the one who just came up with this idea. I took 1 day, 2 days to just validate this concept. I've been into this HR industry since a long while, so I was talking to a lot of founders and HRs and discussing this concept. That is when I got so sure on this concept that this is going to do wonders, and especially help out people when they really need somebody the most. So it just happened like in seconds, and we start working on it. I discussed with this idea with Manish also. So he was also, his first reaction was, wow, who thought of it? Then all credit goes to...
And then all the credit was taken by Dishi.
No, not at all.
No? Okay.
No. So Manish helped us in complete branding, marketing, whatever you see on our social pages. He's the one who's continuously, rigorously doing it, and we are trying to help maximum people out there. So this is the story behind it. Where I talk about the concept, it is majorly on lending of employees on a contractual basis to a particular company where the demand is more, where they feel that they really need staff for work, and when this demand goes low, they'll come back to their own original organization, original company. So this is the idea. I mean, I would like Manish or Ankit to just talk about it more.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll just add on to what she said. So in economics, it's all about demand and supply, and that's where the whole the scheme of things lie. So even during the pandemic, what we realized is that there are a couple of industries who are still experiencing a lot of demand. For example, e-commerce, FMCG, hospitals, and so on. So there's always demand in one sector or the other, even if, let's say, the other sectors are experiencing downfall. So that's where this idea clicked, that how about reassigning people from one industry to the other, where they have certain specific skill set which can be utilized in other spheres of the industry as well. And that's where Ankit came up with this idea, and then ever since then there's not been we didn't have to look back. We've got great response from the industry. People have really appreciated us about the idea. When it comes to implementation, we are still doing it, a little far away from it, but in terms of the idea validation, it is certainly there, because now that we've realized today, as you guys are all students, you would realize it's all about upskilling yourself to be relevant in the current times, to get a job in the industry and so on. So upskilling is one, but we've realized that there is certain skill sets which are actually kind of universal, and this concept is actually workable for those people with those sort of skill sets, which can be used, which are actually usable in different spheres of the industry.
So, Arya, you want to take up the questions now?
Sure, sir. Sure, we can take up the questions if you want.
Yes, Shashank, tell me.
Okay. Yes, sir. So, I'm going to ask you the first question. As a co-founder of this amazing startup, you said that you have to go out and start implementing the idea. An idea on paper will never fly. So my first question is, what was exactly the motivation behind the idea, and how did it all start, and what is the role of IIM in your career?
So as Dishi and Manish said, that idea was to help people out and do it in a creative fashion where we can affect positively more number of people, and especially in pandemic when out of the blue people are going out of job. One of the crucial thing that was on their minds always was loss of medical cover that usually the companies provide. And in this pandemic situation, even a couple of lakhs can make a big difference. Even a small organization does a 2.5 or up to 3 lakh rupees of medical insurance. That helps a lot during, although there is a lot of government support, but a lot of times in government institutions you may not find a bed, and private institutions, that's the problem. So that was the basic idea which Dishi, Manish and I discussed, and that was that motivation to help people out. About that one-liner, that idea on paper will never fly. See, I don't come from an HR background. Okay, usually HR team and me were always on the opposite ends whenever there was a discussion. Okay, so concept of HR was the last thing on my mind. But again, the idea of validation came from a person who has experience in this business, Dishi, and it sounded good. I could hear that positive vibe from her, and then we had a lot of things on our plate to do. Okay, but what we did was we started doing that. See, we have our own startups, we have our own families to take care of. Still taking time from it. Okay, and okay, my very good friend Harsh has joined us. Hey, hi Harsh. So see, the idea is, unless however menial or however impossible the idea you have in your mind, take out time to start implementing it. Only then will you realize either it will go into a dustbin or it will get you accolades. Now every idea will have only these two results, nothing more than that. But you have to start implementing, working towards it, start conceptualizing. And you guys are in a perfect place when you are in college to start looking out for problems and a solution around it. There are a lot of government support around there. So that's the message we want to convey, that start implementing whatever you have in your mind, and then going.
Okay, thank you, sir. That was very great actually, and it has increased more enthusiasm in us to know more about your startup. So coming up to the next question, sir, that the basic agenda of your startup is to work for the welfare of all the struggling employees, despite of the sector in which they work. So how does actually the platform works? Means, what is the business model?
So actually, it is both for the it is mainly targeted towards companies, and in that process, it helps their employees. Okay, because if an employee is in the job or out of job, it is in the hands of the organization they are working in right now. Okay, so idea is to educate the HR heads, the founders of companies who are struggling with the higher employee cost, to look at this as an option, rather than just throwing them out of the company or organization. Okay, so those are the people we want to target, we want to affect, we want to change their mindset, so that those guys can look at this option, start exploring. Even I'm okay if they start exploring themselves and start doing those kind of transactions themselves. The idea is in general to get an adoption of this idea. And platform is just a tool. Technology is just a tool. Okay, the real thing is the adoption of the concept, the adoption of this as an option in front of the founders when they're taking call to reduce their employee strength. And that's where our focus is. See, we can use any platform. You can use Naukri, you can use, tons and tons of such kind of job portals are there in the market. You just purchase one and start using it. But how to use it, and as we go along, as we are learning more, there are new requests coming in, new ideas flowing in on operational side, and that will ultimately result in a comprehensive portal down the line. So portal, don't get bogged down by technology and how you will implement it. First look at, is the idea solving a particular problem or not? Start getting validations around it. technology is available, the coders are available. Tons of apps are getting created each day. So there is no dearth of talent there. But the idea is to look at a problem and find a solution to it.
Okay, sir. Okay. It was a very
Shashank, I would like to add something here.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
I'll tell you what, in India, employment is very important. Why? I'll tell you, because whosoever is employed is serving his family, and in India, almost 90% of the janta is hand to mouth. So, अगर किसी की job जाती है, that means their entire family is suffering. Okay, so the idea was to create maximum employment opportunities, be it by shuffling the employees or by helping people in any way through your network or anything. So we need to change the mindset of the founders and the hiring managers. So it's about changing in the mindset of the people, that hiring is no more done in a traditional way. You can always look into an option of reassigning your employment. Today, if I need an employee, I'll hire somebody. If I don't want, I'll chuck that person off. But I don't have the option of reassigning that employee to another company, where I also think about the employees and not just for myself.
Yeah, that was
Plus,
that is good. Yeah.
Next question.
Yes, yes. The next question.
Shashank, what is the hard stop for us? How much time is allocated to us?
Sir, how much can you give, sir?
We all three can spend the whole day talking about it, but you guys have to
Okay, sir.
timeline to.
Okay, sir. I will just try to not more than not more than in half an hour. So the next question. Okay, so the next question is very interesting, sir, and is basically about the trending topic as Rishi talked about, unemployment. As the name of your startup suggests, to support and groom our talented youth. In country like India, where unemployment has always been an obstacle for growth, to what extent does this platform can eradicate this problem? What are the facts that we can get?
Okay, so see, we might not be able to help the current unemployment level, but we can certainly help in maintaining that rather than increasing that unemployment levels in the market. Okay, so we might not directly get employment to the unemployed youths right now, but we may help save jobs, which indirectly, if they are out of job, then it increases the overall unemployment ratio in India, percentages in India. So that's the point. We cannot help. We might not help. We might do that
actually,
later part of the business, but not right now.
Ankit, I'll just add on to that. So Shashank, what we are actually trying to achieve here is, it's not just about that we're not able to address unemployment, but the problem that we're trying to solve here is larger, which is we are trying to create awareness among employees in addition to employers, that employees are actually judged upon their skills, upon their skill set, and with the help of the talent loans concept, we are actually trying to awaken them and tell them that your skills is what would matter the most in getting you employment, be it a full-time permanent employment or be it a temporary employment. And that is where the concept of gig economy comes in, where everybody who has some skill set or the other will be able to get a job, be it a permanent or a temporary job, be it a contractual job, be it a project basis job. So we are certainly maybe indirectly touching upon the unemployment thing. We are trying to help people provide for their families, help them to to get some sort of employment, if not anything else. And that is where the whole objective of our starting Retain the Star has been.
Okay, that's great, sir. Actually, the next question was on talent loans, which you already answered, but still, that the conventional methods which are used in India to offer loans, or you can say lend, is to just have a collateral. whoever is taking loan, they ask for collateral, the banks or the local authority. And but in Retain the Star, we heard about a very engrossing collateral that is talent, I think.
Yeah.
And it is very interesting to know about talent loans. So will you please elaborate about the new scheme of talent loans, that how actually can we get those loans if we want to apply?
So, what is the definition of a loan? If you look at the definition of a loan, what is a loan? It is a temporary transfer of some materialistic thing from one company or one person to the other, right? Like we do finance loans. Okay, we do an asset loan. Okay, we put our assets on rent. Okay, similarly, we look people as set of talents, and those people are lent out. Those people are rented out. Okay, rented is a bit a cheesy word and not appropriate for a workforce, but it's a way to see. If a company builds an asset, the company builds a property for them. Now, if that company is struggling, it rents out its property to other companies so that that company can survive who owns the property. Similarly, here, smaller companies or medium-sized companies, the struggle with them is they don't have a brand. Now, if I ask Sahil to join PartiramTechnologies.com, which is based out of Sector 7, Dwarka, New Delhi, he might not be very inclined to join it unless and until it gives them a 25 or 30 lakhs ka package. Okay, then also he might think twice. So, see, the idea is those companies are talent is not easily available to them. They have to nurture that talent. They have to be kind to their employees. They cannot be ruthless like a biggie startups who can today fire 600 people and hire 700 tomorrow. Okay, so when those guys struggle, they don't have a bandwidth like a Oyo or a Flipkart has. They can survive without revenues for a couple of months. They are already putting the monies down the drain. So these companies need to survive, and this talent loans concept can help them survive or tide over that problem for 6-7 months or even 8-9 months or 10 months. Okay, they don't have to shut down their shop because they don't have money to pay their employees. If their people whom they have nurtured leave, they'll certainly get another job. Now, if after 7-8 months the situation improves in the lending company, they might not be inclined to come back, right? Because they might think that this situation will arise again. But if you see that the lending company says that, see, I cannot afford your salary, your talent will be used by a borrowing company. Okay, after 7 months or 10 months or 12 months, I'll call you back in my company. And that gives a confidence to a person that yes, I am valued in this organization. Okay, and that's the reason why it gives a positive boost to a company and an employee relationship, or an employee and an employer relationship. Okay, they feel they are valued. They are not left out of the blue. See, in this current pandemic situation or in general, it's very difficult to get a job. Okay, suddenly in such a scenarios. So the more people get educated, the more people adopt this idea, better for an overall society welfare.
Yeah, definitely, sir. And
more relevant to small and medium-sized companies, because those companies are anyway standing at the end of the line whenever the talent is available, because talent is bought by these biggies, these big startups or famous startups or famous companies. So it's more crucial for these SMEs, MSMEs, small startups. For them, 5-6 months becomes a crucial time to survive or to die out.
That's exactly, I think, the whole country should be thinking about, that acknowledging their skill, which is becoming a main asset in this time. That if you are having certain skills, then you can get a better job. So what you are doing is just commendable, sir. And coming up to the next question, what unseen opportunities do you see in this corona pandemic scenario that may result in making your startup a huge success? And what are the plans after the pandemic? Since many of the people are thinking that after the pandemic is over, there will be no demand for jobs, just like there are in the pandemic right now. So what are the plans after that or before that?
Unseen opportunity can be a VC funding. for us to make us a success. So, frankly, retain the star. The concept itself is an unseen idea right now. So, opportunities are limitless, and not only in pandemic but outside pandemic as well. See, pandemic has just started. GDP figures will not be in positive anytime soon. Harsh reality, and companies are now going down the drains than they were in pandemic, because there was a ray of hope at that time that once the business starts, then we might be able to earn. Okay, so yes, in normal business scenarios as well, as we discussed last time as well, every industry goes through a crest and a trough. Okay, every industry has a business cycle to it, industry cycle where companies struggle during a period of recession, industry specific recession, and there the companies which are small industries in those industries, companies which depend on these industries, okay, they might find this thing useful. And there are a lot of functional talent which is very easily be able to place in different industries. So there is a cross talent which can be utilized. A person who has financial knowledge and a knowledge of Tally might be working in auto industry right now, but he can be easily placed say finance industry where the Tally is used, where his skills of accounting can be utilized. So there are a lot of functional domains very relevant in IT. Okay, if you know how to code, you can code code to run a pacemaker of a heart, or you can even run a code to run your trucks smoothly on the highway. So that way, these skills are sector agnostic, and these skills. The idea is someone to bring together these skill sets on one platform where there is a supply of talent on one end and there is a demand for talent of such talent on the other side. Because whenever there is one industry going down, there is another industry that is coming up. So right now it's education, healthcare. Education is a perennial industry. Medical is a perennial industry. They will always grow because there is always a demand of education and medical. And that aviation is in a doldrums right now. But there is a huge use case of people working in operations department in aerospace industry getting employment in retail industry, in retail operations. So on all three of us, the onus is to do that matchmaking, either through an Excel or through technology, whatever it is, but it is our responsibility to do that matchmaking. If you want to add?
Yes, sir. If any one of you want to add something else, Rishi ma'am.
Yeah. So when you talk about what after the pandemic, so this, as I told you, this concept is the next revolution in the HR industry. It's not going to end. It's going to bring in a new, mindset, because this is what we are introducing in the HR industry. Today, when somebody hires, they really don't have an option, as I told you, for lending out. So it's like bringing in a new idea where this can also work. So it's all about changing the mindset of people, which we really want to do. We want to reach out to maximum people, reach out to maximum people so that they understand this concept, the depth of this concept, right? So, Manish, if you would like to add something, please go ahead.
I think you both have very well, kind of summed it up. The only thing probably which I would want to add is that, temporary workforce is not something which is a new concept. Contractual workforce or temporary workforce, whatever we call it, it has been existing ever since. The only thing that we are doing new here is trying to optimize the employee cost for any organization. It could be from a borrower's end to hire people for a temporary basis, that optimizes their cost, as well as for a lender who was, let's say, who has already invested a lot of time, effort and resources to hire an employee, but now because of the pandemic or economic downturn, they are not able to pay salaries to this person, and hence they just lend them out for a temporary period to somebody else, so that cost, the employee cost, isn't borne by the lender, and once things are better, they can have them back. So that investment that they did at the time of hiring the talent, and really having an eye to find the right talent and train them, that cost and that time which has been invested, that investment is actually secured.
Okay. That was great, sir. I think you are trying to build a talent highway. So it is very good. But just adding a question to it, that when can we expect to this highway to reach tier 2 or tier 3 cities in which people are having conventional mentality of getting a stable job, or they are just running away from something like contractual? So when are you planning to reach the tier 2 or tier 3 cities?
You guys are quite smart in asking these questions for your age.
So I would probably, say. What I would say here is that it's not about reaching tier 2 or tier 3 cities. It is more about spreading awareness. So the first time I saw a smartphone in the days of when there used to be feature phones, I was completely shocked, and to see the amazement by it. And I could never imagine that every other person in our country could actually have a smartphone in their hand. But that has been possible by being able to scale it up, by being able to reduce down the manufacturing cost, by being able to the support from government to private players to actually be able to manufacture these things at a lower cost, and then hence all the things which are linked to it, the app development and all other things. So similarly, this as a concept, in the very initial stages, we will be focusing on spreading awareness about what the concept is, how it is really helping the employers, be it a tier 2 employer, be it a tier 1 employer, be it a metro city employer. Because if the employer is convinced, if the employer understands that we are actually trying to help them reduce their employee costs, as well as the employee who is trying to make use of their skills, then
in the in any industry, or if you're able to understand somebody's problem and you have a solution with it, and if you are able to implement that solution, money will automatically follow you. Success, money, everything will come in place. First, you need to as Ankit says, execute it, show something to the world. Money will come automatically. So right now, Manish, Ankit and I, we are already running our businesses. So money is not something we are expecting out of Retain the Star. So as Ankit rightly, you've been reached out by a couple of VCs also. But they also say something that what is your revenue model? So we have one simple answer to it. Let's help out people, money and success will follow us. We are not we are not thinking about revenue right now.
Okay, ma'am, that's great. I think Ritika has got her answer.
And adding to Dishi,
Okay.
see, it depends upon which kind of industry you are going in. Now, if you want to start up a OYO type of business model, okay, you know what kind of revenue streams are there, you know what kind of revenue models are already existing in the market, right? But in this case, there is no precedence. Because right in a traditional HR industry, a contractual job, there is a percentage of salary cost that is taken, a very standard way. But if you go that way, you will end up with other people who are there in the industry. Okay, so our idea is to let the revenue model evolve itself. Okay, and that revenue model will come from our clients, how they want to pay, what kind of services they want to pay. Okay, And then when you sit across with your co-founders and you see and you hear the feedback of your clients, you hear your feedback of the borrowers, and automatically that revenue model will come in front of you. Opportunities exist. We are sure that revenue opportunity exists. How that revenue will, how we'll monetize this idea, time will tell. But the idea is to first get this validated, educated. People should get educated about it. People should start using this idea.
I'll just
Free.
I'll just add on to this. Ankit really rightly said. So I'll just add on one point to this. Try to draw an analogy. I think we've been using WhatsApp since almost 5 years now, maybe more, 6-7 years. Have any one of us paid a penny to WhatsApp till now? And can you guys imagine life without WhatsApp today? So if tomorrow suddenly you open your phone in the morning and WhatsApp says, okay, hi guys, pay 500 rupees and only then you can use this service, 500 rupees for a year. Guess what? You students will be the first ones to pay for it. So what I'm trying to say here is, if an idea is implemented successfully, there are n number of ways to really monetize it, to have a revenue model to it. Not that we do not have a revenue model in mind already to this, but we are first trying to actually experiment which model would really work for us, and which is the way where we can have the maximum impact in the society, which is the way in which we will be able to help the most number of people and then at the same time create revenue from it. The revenue is certainly there, it is important, it is truly a part of running any business, but if we are able to create value for anybody and then ask for revenue, I think then we will be able to get the maximum amount of revenue. Even for that matter, Google. We've been using Google since almost 10-15 years now, and over the time Google has introduced so many different applications, be it Google Maps, be it Gmail, be it YouTube, be it XYZ things. They've never asked for any money for anything. YouTube has recently introduced a paid version of it, and even then they have not stopped the free version. The point what I'm trying to say here is, if your service is really adding value to somebody, they will themselves come and start purchasing.
This is marketing 101 for you guys. Listen carefully from a brand manager.
Definitely, so definitely you cited such amazing examples that I think everyone from us is going to learn that and use that in future. So as you suggested that this is the best time, we are a college student and this is the best time for us to explore and come into the market and innovate something or just work on something like we have never seen before. So any suggestions from you all to enlighten our new entrepreneurs or future entrepreneurs? Ankit sir?
Dishi, you are the earliest of all three of us who started our own venture.
Okay, so
I'm a post entrepreneur.
I think we all are entrepreneurs and we have similar mindset. That's why we are entrepreneurs. So one tip for a budding entrepreneur would be never give up attitude. So whatever you do, even if you come across any failure in your life, I've learned from this experience. When I had my first client, when I started 6 years back, it was a huge loss for me. But I did not stop. I did not quit my business. I did not give up. I said, okay, ho gaya, let's go ahead. Let's start afresh. So never give up, even if you face failure, even if your product fails, even if your service fails, whatsoever. This is the key attribute of an entrepreneur. Never give up attitude. I think Manish and Ankit can add theirs. I mean, this is what my mantra is never give up.
So we have our advisor in the house, Rahul Gupta. Rahul, can you say hi to the teams? Rahul Gupta, you there?
I can't see him.
Sorry.
I think he can't hear us. Anyways, Ankit, you would want to go ahead? Give your piece of advice to the new entrepreneur.
Yep. So again, idea is, say, go ahead. That's the one liner I'll always speak to you guys is, if you have an idea in your mind, that idea would have germinated from a problem that you would have thought about. It may be a solved problem. Okay, it is not that if Oyo is there as a online booking portal. So Make My Trip was always there, but Oyo came in and it made Make My Trip lose its market share. Okay, so a solved problem can always be looked at from a different perspective. Don't get bogged down by, if there is Oyo, then how we'll survive. Okay. Similarly, in every field, in wherever, if you like hotel, if you like technology, if you like biochemistry, start investing the talent that is required to solve a problem there. Okay, start investing in yourself. Okay, don't get swayed away by Facebook, WhatsApp. When you grow old, there is enough time for it. Okay, my father spends a lot of time now on Facebook, on our WhatsApp. He has a lot of free time on his hand. He has done decently well in his life. So, see, for that, there's a lot of time left. Don't get bogged down, distracted by these social media platforms. I saw on Twitter a lot of students who were preparing for NEET and IIT JEE asking for a postponement, and they didn't realize the long-term effect of that. Okay, so don't get distracted by what's going on. Okay, try to focus on what you want to do. See, job is not a bad thing. Okay, I did 14 years of corporate job before I jumped here. So it is not necessary that everyone has to become an entrepreneur. Okay, if you like a job, do that, because people require people in a stable and position in big companies and small corporations. People who can stand with the founders, who can convert the idea into reality. Okay, there is no harm if you like a job, do that. But if you feel some problem needs to be solved, see what is the best way to do that. Either you have to start or do that along with your company's resources. Discuss that idea along with your management. Hopefully, they might start a new business line out of it. So, again, job or entrepreneurship, totally your call, but always give a chance to yourself to see what your inner calling is and try to experiment. No harm in experimentation. Okay, you guys are exposed enough than what we were in our college days. So don't get bogged down by these social media platforms. Don't get distracted. Try to see what you like the best. That's the only advice to you.
And probably just a small piece of advice from my end would be, as Ankit rightly said, the key to being successful lies in execution. Like he gave the example of Oyo Rooms. So even though Oyo existed, there were still many other startups which came in after Oyo and within the same space. For example, Fab Hotels was there, Dostal was there, Nestaway was there, Vista Rooms was there, and so on. But not everybody is probably able to achieve what Oyo has been able to achieve. And the key is the idea and the implementation. Plus, from a student's point of view, my recommendation would be to always start your career with a job. That's how I have been. I started off. It gives you a next level of exposure to know, to see the world, to see how the industry operates, to see how the business is run. Gives you a platform to learn, make mistakes and learn from those mistakes, and then you can always come into being an entrepreneur. I'm not ruling out the fact that entrepreneurship doesn't have its own ups and downs, and it gives you great learning. It does, but it's more about where your inner calling lies, like Ankit said. So probably
Mr.
not.
Mr. Rock has a question. We'll have to see Mr. Rock. Who is Mr. Rock?
Sir, I think he has left the meeting.
Okay, he's left.
But I'll read out his question if you want. Having any startup idea is good, but for growing it or for taking it to a next level, do we need any internship or any course, etc.?
Okay.
No, not required.
You don't need a course to be an entrepreneur. You don't need it.
There.
It's just there inside you. As Ankit and Manish said, it's your inner calling. What you're doing.
To start any startup, just ask yourself one question: are you trying to solve a problem?
Okay, Mr. Rock is in the house. Hey, can we see you, man? Mr. Rock.
I want to know that we are an engineer, then how
Sir, I think we are not able to hear Mr. Rock right now. There is some connectivity issue, but his question is that he asked in the comment section.
You don't need special course unless and until it is some very specific skill set, like if you want to do something in aeronautics or you want to do something in biochemistry, which is different from what you have studied till now. So yeah, that might require skill upgradation, but in general, just enthusiasm is what is required.
What I'll say here is, again, as to what I was saying, if you know what problem you're trying to solve and you're clear about that there is a problem statement that you're able to solve, I think all the technicalities and all skill sets and everything can come in later. Because if your idea is great and if you think you can implement it, there will be people who will be ready to invest in your idea, and you can always hire people having those skill sets to do that sort of work. So being an engineer myself, I think he's referring to something, being an engineer and all of it. I don't know, he's saying something. So my point is, try and approach every question in life from a logic. And any startup idea, just ask yourself, are you trying to solve a question? Are you trying to solve a problem? And if the answer is yes, and how many people are you able to impact with that solution? If you're able to answer that, I think you're sorted for your startup idea. That's all what you need.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. And that's truly motivating, whatever you have told. So, a huge thanks to you and the whole team of Retain the Star for providing us your precious time from the really very busy schedule, and we will always be obliged to you for this. And we are pretty much sure that Retain the Star will very soon be one of the most influential startups in the world. And wishing you and your team best of luck for future endeavors. We would like to see you soon at our very own campus of KNIT Sultanpur. And thank you so much, sir, for attending the session today. Manish sir, Ankit sir, and Rishi ma'am. And if you want to add something else, we can carry on.
Shashank is a good platform. This is a nice initiative from you guys. First of all, to find us out.
How did it happen?
Who found us?
Actually, sir, it started from a very, very basic idea. We started a research on all the startups we are having right now in 2020, and then out of them we saw these very beautiful ideas, and when we just picked them up, and we just mailed you, and thankfully you replied, and that's why we are having you right now here.
I'm basically
So that credit goes to Manish and his marketing ideas. That you-
Exactly. I completely agree.
No. We're just trying to spread the word about, about talent loans, about Retain the Star, trying to help people. That's all. Yeah.
and hopefully we are big soon enough that we can come down to your campus and pick all of you.
Yeah,
Yes.
that will be great, sir. That will be great, sir.
Thanks a lot, Shashank.
All the best.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure
Shashank.
joining.
All the best, everybody.
All
Thank
the
you
best.
so much.
Thank
Yeah.
you so
Thank you,
much.
guys. Thanks for calling us, giving us a platform to speak up.
the snap. We need to get a snap.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. Yes, sir,
Oh,
please,
yes.
we
Yes,
will
yes.
put on our camera and we will take a snap. Actually, we forgot.